Okay, so I'm here with Julian, and you're quite new to Canonical, aren't you?
4 weeks.
4 weeks. So what's your role?
I've been brought in as creative strategy lead within the marketing department with a goal to redesign and re-implement the desktop and the brand and the look and feel of Canonical as a whole.
Is that because there's something wrong with it at the moment, or...?
Definitely not. No, it's a great product as it is. It's been going a number of years, as you know. But now, really, with the influence of design across consumer electronics as a whole, really this product is time to move it on to match that, really.
So what areas do you see as needing the most attention?
It's the whole life cycle, really, of the product. Potential users go to a website to try and download it. They might hear about it in the media. So we have to look at how a customer actually obtains a product in the first place, the whole acquisition of that product, the download experience, and then actually using the product day to day. So it's literally an end-to-end experience.
And it's more than just making sure that the website's got the same colour scheme as the desktop?
Absolutely, yes. It's about making sure it's understandable what the product is, making sure that it's completely straightforward to use and an intuitive experience. But also, on top of that, a really great looking and appealing experience as well. We want our users to talk about the product functionally, but also how great it looks and how easy it is to use and how it matches their needs and their requirements.
What sort of special challenges does Ubuntu pose, being an open source project and having a large volunteer community around it?
It's definitely unique, but it's unique in a really positive way. When you work internally, you're often restricted by resource. It's always the number one thing that's really very difficult to obtain. But this is completely different. It actually opens more opportunities than it poses barriers. I've met a whole lot of people this week who are just, their first answer to a question is yes, before anything else, which is a really, really positive experience. So it's actually opportunist as opposed to anything else.
A lot of open source projects perhaps historically haven't been through extensive UI testing. Mm-hmm. How do you start to implement brand identity on such a huge range of software?
The first thing to say is that it's a big challenge. There's no doubt about it. What we're going to try and do is build a team internally that we can use to build conceptual experiences. And in order to do that, we'll do a bit of user testing throughout that process to get it to a point where we're really confident about it. And it's at that point we can put it out publicly to actually get the community involved to enhance that experience. It's definitely a big challenge, there's no doubt about it, but I think any user interface designer will tell you the sooner you get usability and design into the process, the less chance there is of things going wrong with the product. And of course the user is never at fault, it's the designer that's at fault. So that's what we've got to keep in mind.
So what sort of skills do you have within your team then?
Well, we're building a team. It's in really early days at the moment, so we're going to be building a team of a number of people which range from pure usability skills through to web design experience. We've got concept designers. We will have concept designers in place whose role it will be to develop 20 different ideas of new concepts, which we can then filter those down and pick the best and then decide to work on those further. We're going to have graphic designers in-house, so we can develop a great look and feel, and we can produce our own digital assets to give out to the community and manage it in a very disciplined way. It doesn't mean to say that the community can't be involved in producing those, but we want to make sure that in developing a great look and feel that it's actually managed correctly. So there's a number of skills that are going to be in the team which are very broad ranging, but they're the core with any new design group.
So what's the first thing you're going to do in this cycle?
The first thing is to look at enhancing the product release by release. So we're all really working on a couple of concepts, but in parallel to that we're going to be doing a parallel work stream to actually identify the future and where the product's going to go as a whole. But really my first job is understanding the business, which this week has been fantastic for, and to build the team and actually start to identify those bits of in-life enhancements that we're going to do within the product.
Had you had much experience of open source development and open source developers in the past?
This is my first experience, and
so how's it been, dare I ask?
I'll give you a completely honest answer. It genuinely has been fantastic. As I said, when I've asked questions of people, their first answer is yes. It's not, I don't know if we can do that. It's very, very positive. It seems like the community is ready to accept some kind of design input. They want ideas. They're hungry for them, and we're really going to give them those ideas. So it's been really, really positive. And week 4, I'm more enthused than I was before I started, which I think hopefully is positive.
Excellent. So apart from the sort of the enthusiasm of developers, is there going to be a major task you'll take away from this week, or a major lesson you've learned?
Major lesson. I think the biggest thing I've taken away is developing what I hope is going to be really strong relationships with a number of different people, be they in the community or be they within the business. I've certainly got a long list of things to do as a result of this week, not least to try and plan how we're going to start to work on this new future vision for the product. But I think this week really has been about me meeting people, learning, understanding the business, developing these really good relationships, and then putting all of that effort into now building a team and putting the new design concept together.
Excellent. Well, I think I'm really eager to see the output of your team realised in not just the Ubuntu desktop, but in all the other areas that you'll input as well, but particularly on the desktop. Yeah, I mean
the challenge is across all the products, and it's across all the end user touch points, and even to when we have a visitor in the office in London or elsewhere, we want them to come into the office and really feel the spirit of the product and the effort that's going into the design process, but the product overall. So we're very excited about that.
What sort of things is it you'll be looking at in terms of the office? I've visited Millbank, so there are things already like Ubuntu colour-coded stools and stuff, aren't there?
There are, but I think there's a lot more we can do to actually give the place a bit more of a design feel to it. So we're going to look at colouring through the walls, artwork on the walls. We're going to look at creating personal spaces for people, and we're going to try and do something exciting with the sort of social area to make it. It's not sterile as it is, but it's an office space at the moment, and maybe it doesn't reflect the spirit of what we want to actually do. So we want to try and change that to make it really reflect what we're trying to do.
And it should pay dividends in helping people think creatively and focus on their product and have good discussions.
Absolutely, yeah. And the whole thing about this design group, yes, we're building a team of people, but it's completely collaborative and inclusive. We want absolutely everyone to have a role and a part in this, because we all work towards the same aim, and everyone should have the same ownership of the product. So it's not a question of a group of people sitting in a corner doing stuff and then throwing it over the fence to be developed. We want absolutely everybody to be involved in it, to feel part of this kind of new movement, I suppose. So that's another part that we're excited about.
Excellent. Well, thanks for talking to me.
No problem at all.